Hey y'all, Steph from SAR Motto Arts. I hope you're having a great time, a great day whenever you happen to see this. So, I am drinking the Arizona Mucho Mango because it's metal. Recycle it, reuse it, all that. It is, let that not fall. It is 6:45 my time in Central Standard, which is freaking past my bedtime. It's about to be bedtime. So, I was pulling, and I'm going to be using the Tarot of the Secret Forest. Let me show you all that. Books, half-price books, I had gotten it for $20. I kind of looked it up, and that was what it was going for, or whatnot, or what it's valued at, and that's fine by me. Hadn't opened this deck of cards except once to kind of make sure that all the cards were there, all the 78 and whatnot. And they're like all the parts are in there. It is a Los Carabeo. It's a bit of an older deck. Still has the writing and whatnot. There's a little white book in it, and it has the two cards in the front, which are the Tarot Safi card that tells you like how to join their thing and whatnot, and then Tarot of the Secret Forest. This one has two sides because it is double-sided. This deck is a beautiful rendition, truly, to where each card has a back and a front, and it is the same card. And it feels very much like it could be, this is a Fae deck. I have my Fae, what's it called? My Fae cloth out. These were the cloths that I grew up on. And because they are lemons, limes, and oranges, and little bees, this with, I think it's orange flowers, this truly won, right, straight up. I need to wash them again probably. But this is the deck, or this is the tablecloth. And I also have a miniature cloth of this that y'all have seen if you have been with me for a while, that my Fae decks only seem to work on this tablecloth. Otherwise, if I were to use them on another, they don't want to get messages, they're just not interested, and they'll just fuck with you kind of a thing. Because I've noticed that Fae decks and the Fae will tease you a lot. For me, they would just show up and my chapstick would be gone. I had a pencil right in front of me and it will be gone, and I won't find it except in another part of the house. Or in my parents' house instead of my house, right? Since I have kind of separated to make a little bit of studio to make life a little bit easier. I'd moved back down from Lubbock, Texas. Am I going back up? We don't know. We'll see. All that stuff. Anyways, with all of that, this deck is beautiful because all of the fronts are beautifully colored. They have more of a muted design instead of in your face yellow, but the highlights are beautiful and such. And this deck very much has so much potential, so much to talk about shadow work, or if you really just need to get to the nitty gritty, you have the black and white version. And then if you want the colors and such and whatnot, I've noticed so far with this deck, since I've been using it since earlier, well, during the night. As someone who's a night owl, it's a lot. Here I have the Ace of Coins, and is this the King? Yeah, the King of Cups. See, these are the colored side. These are the black and white, which is very interesting because it feels like it's the generic kind of rendition before they color it in, before they added. It doesn't feel like it's watercolor. It feels like it's more pastel for the artist who did create this, and it's beautiful. Truly, it is a beautiful rendition. I had originally thought to just mix both sides and whatnot, but that feels like it's too much of a shock to my system since I've been really playing with it. This is now, I guess, the second day I was playing with it when I had gotten it, which was last year. It says that they got it in 04/08/24. So they had gotten it in April of 24, and I think I got it like that summer, so over a year. We're working with her because sometimes the Fae just don't call to you, not necessarily don't call to me, but they just don't want to let you in. That's one of those things that a lot of people are like, oh, I want to learn about the Fae, and they can never get into it, or they're like, oh, I learned so much, like they're studying about it, right? And then they're not able to, what's the nice way to say it? They haven't been able to be contacted. They're like, I don't see any of them. None of them have come up to say hello to me. They're very picky. Elemental spirits are. There's no nice way to say it. They just are. For many people, they're like, oh my God, gnomes are like so bad. And then a lot of people are like, oh, the fae are so bad. And then it's like, no, if you have relationships with them, each person has a different type of relationship. Are there some that are literally seeing what they can to benefit themselves? Yeah. But humans do that too, if not worse. So, why not? As long as you have and live in harmony with them, they can be your best friends. Gnomes can work as, because I haven't seen any gnomes in this deck, but I haven't really explored a lot. It seems like a lot of on the fae side, and insects and birds and the creatures of this is called the Tarot of the Secret Forest, and it is beautiful. It's like the allies to the fae and whatnot. And I think there might be a gnome or two, but I haven't seen them, whatnot. But yeah, plenty of things with wings. This one I got this one a little bit earlier, and it feels like the struggles, right? A lot of people talk about like the 5 of coins being the struggles. This is the 4 of coins. That's the color side, and this is the black and white side. And I had gotten it with the color side, and I hadn't even felt the energy to flip it. I just was like, whoa, turmoil, this, that. The 4 of coins usually is where we're feeling unstable with money. It's the people who literally, it's the person who usually holds his 4 coins, and it's like, I don't want to share. Feeling that anxiousness. But for this one, it's like, oh, that is gloomy. That is that. And it has become very like straightforward with it and the energy. And then when I see the black and white, it's like, I see it, and then I'm seeing other things that like complement it. As somebody who is an artist, and as somebody who has visions, right? This is your first time here. Hi. But these types of things, right? So, anyways, I want to pull some cards. And so I haven't had any energy to pull cards for anyone else besides maybe a couple for myself. Just because we're clear. And so we're like, okay, clearing everything out for firefighting, doing all my EMT stuff, doing the things for the jobs, just doing a lot all over the place. I do sound like a House of Frankenstein, but that's going to be permanent basically, because it just is, and it's both sides. So there's that. I'm trying a different setup. Hopefully you like it. These are the moths back here, but you can't see the whole thing. I have 2 sets of that, so I really enjoyed it. That was a gift from my mom, and I love insects. I truly, truly love insects. The moths and the butterflies are beautiful in their own senses and such. Here we got the black and white version. So this is the Queen of Coins. All right, understanding stability, understanding what are the gist of the things. What are the things that we need to understand? What are the things that, I guess, I and you as a theme that we're having here is, what do we need? How can we get our roots to be ourselves, right? That's what it feels. In this one, it is more, you can see the branches going to the leaves, but here it feels like they're the roots to herself in both directions. So how do you balance what's inside to come outside? That's really what I'm feeling for this one. So just in case you are somebody who is an artist or somebody who has things that you haven't, sometimes the energy that I come into a reading, in the reason why I feel called to is because the people who will find this are already in this energy. You're feeling like, how do I get back to what I want, what I did, what I used to do, or myself, right? This is November 25, so 2025 that I'm recording this. This is the midpoint of November. I didn't even look at the astrology. I just wanted to pull some cards because I felt called to. Yeah. Just in case you are also in this energy of like, how do I get back to myself, right? Some of us, with the turmoil that's happening in the US, or if you're in somewhere else, right? You're probably thinking, how do I just get back to me, right? How do I get back to my community? You feel worn out. For some people, I know as myself, I've started drawing and painting again. Like I literally, I got one of these. I stuck a little sticky note on here just to write some things out. And like I said, I was doing a reading for myself with this deck to see if she wanted to work. And like, I already got 2 readings here. 2. That I'm very grateful for and such. So right here on top of the deck, we have the Ten of Swords, right? Feeling like we are exhausted. If that doesn't explain all that I'm feeling. Oh, it's by with ants on it. I thought those were its little friends. This is a beetle. This is a spider. It's got 8 legs, so I'm going to say it's a spider. Or arachnid family, right? Because for people that don't know, I didn't know this, but crabs are part of the arachnid kind of grouping because it has 8 legs, but it's not necessarily a spider. But it's a lot of people joke that they're sea bugs, right? The lobster, the things, they're just bugs under the water. They do the equivalent of the same in a different ecosystem, but you still eat them, so whatever, you do you. I don't judge. As someone who was raised off of seafood, I get it, because seafood used to be cheaper. Anyways, what I feel through this, it's so pretty. You don't see it as much as it is. Here's the black and white version versus the color version. The black and white version, I'm seeing its eyes, I'm seeing the dark contrast of all little guys trying to climb it. The Ten of Swords always signifies to me like the exhaustion of like, it's done, I'm exhausted. But here it's depicted almost like you're going through it and you're in the thick of it and you're like, I am at the final stage of what the fuck do I do? And I don't feel like it's getting eaten. I just feel like it's like got all these problems that are rising up itself. As someone who loves to study the sciences, right? Usually you would see if there's a spider and a bunch of ants can take on a spider, right? A bunch of ants can take on just about any bug that it comes by. Like, they are fighters, right? But I emphasize with the spider because I think of spiders as my ancestors, because they do. They show up around and it'll be like one solitary that didn't come to bug me, and then I won't see it again. I'll see like a different bug or a different thing or a different type of spider. My favorite ones to see are jumpy spiders because they can't bite humans. They're fuzzy in the US, and they get pretty ass colors. Pretty ass colors. They don't have the mouth parts to be able to bite through a human skin or to bite well enough to do anything. And they are more terrified of you than they are of them, right? But when I think about it, it's like you have so many things going on, the exhaustion, all the things that you have to do, everything that is going on, right? This feelings that I'm having, these things that you must be or might be in a sense. It can be that you're like, this message, I don't know if this is for now or if this is later, or you had already gotten past this and you're like, get to the stuff that I'm at. Sometimes I have people that are like, I stumbled upon your reading and it was not helpful, right? And then they'll like comment, or they will, majority of people seem to send me like a DM or through WhatsApp, which is how I talk to clients, right? And they're like, holy shit, like this reading you had given didn't make any sense when I found it, whatever. Had some things happen and now it makes fucking sense. So in case that's you, hi. In case you're going through this currently, I feel you. I'm in the same boat, I promise. Trying to get back to yourself, right? You've had quite a few things happen, whether it be like an injury, like I just did with workers' comp, right? Or you literally had a problem at the job, or you just had a lot of things, some type of conversation, something with a family, something with this, something with that. It feels like it's financial, so it's something tied to a job, a work, or you felt like you didn't have the spark anymore in your work. That truly can be what it is, right? You felt, I don't know, why am I here? Do I still want this career? Do I still like this job? Or you're like, damn, I don't feel like doing none of this. I feel like taking a nap for a whole damn year based on everything that's been happening. Maybe I should just be underground for a little bit, head in the sand and just nothing. I ain't paying attention to nada. because I know it's a disaster out there. I'm like, I get it. Sometimes you gotta turn things off. And other times you're like, but I have to keep an eye out because things are changing so rapidly that it's a lot. Which is also probably what's going on. At least for whoever sees this reading. Great. Okay. The next card we have here is I'm just gonna go off the top here. We have the Fool. It's a beautiful card. Okay. I love the black and white version of it, but the one that calls to me right now is the colored. I love how it's the Fae, and it feels like it's a moth version of the Fae because of the little eyes on it, and the way the butterflies, and it seems to have like fluffy hair, fluffy antennae. It's a moth. Fluffy antennae are moths. Butterflies don't have fluffy antennae. They do have little, some of them have little extra kind of like what would be like whiskers or feelers on their antennae, but majority of the ones that have that are the moths. You get little moths that have them like that. The fuzzy antennae ones are up there, or the Madagascar hissing cockroach male. If you ever have to see them or have had pets or such, or like me, you had them for your biology class. They're fuzzy, but only the males are. Super cute. They can't bite you. They don't have the mouth parts either too. They're just very loud and huge. Because it's hard to drink from the thing. Arizona, the mucho mango. I love Arizona. I'm grateful. I will continue to buy them. Even if they end up a little bit more than $1, because that guy deserves all my money. Them and Costco. Him and Costco. Like those two old guys are doing their absolute best for all the shit that's happening. So, for my people, you need to find what brings joy and what sparks joy in your life. Okay, what were things that you used to love doing? Did you used to love black and white painting? Did you used to love to just pick up a pencil and draw? Writing. Are you one of those people that would love to just get a book out, journal, and write, and just do that? If you are somebody who, because I attract a lot of other witches, as one, I get it, okay? As an espiritista, I attract people who are also in this sphere, just because when you have the gifts, other people will recognize it who also have gifts. It's a thing. Like you meet somebody and you're like, oh, that person's like witchy. That person is of the dones, or they have gifts. And then you meet others and you're like, you said you're a witch and you're confused as hell. Or you meet others and they're like, oh, I'm an espiritista. I deal with the dead. And you're like, you see them? Oh, what's that on you? Nope, you know what? That's not my problem, not my business. But yeah, don't go fucking with things that you don't know about. Study, understand, have respect for the spirits, because them shits will turn and cause problems. Not all of them will, but plenty are just looking for an excuse. That's the nice way to say it. I love this one. Oh, the Queen of Wands. Beautiful, beautiful. And then I have the Nine of Swords. Like we were talking about. This is the Hierophant. That definitely does not look like that on the white. I'm telling you, the black and white are giving me other visions of things. Like I'm gonna have to start drawing them out. Versus the front side. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. This is the Hierophant. And I think that's a turnip. I don't know. It's some type of plant. Okay. We're just gonna leave it here. Okay. You know what? This will be the last one that I pull out. Here. Do I need to know? Feeling at loss. Okay. The talking about that we just talked about. You have a lot of things that are waiting to spark your fire again. Or you're starting to, or you will. Okay? Go back to the things that you used to love doing. If you were back in high school, back in college, back when you were a bit younger, or your childlike joy, where did it stem from? Drawing, painting, art? Did it from journaling, from getting your thoughts out of your brain so that way you could think. Because I know plenty of person that's like, you feel like you're just this until things are out, and then you're like, oh, I don't have to think about it too much. And I know others that instead of that being their creative, it's music and creation of some form. Others craft, they make books like I do. They create other things, such as some people are like, oh, well, I prefer to create like videos and photography. Well, that's an option too. What sparks joy in your life? Okay, straight up, what sparks joy? I know some people that are like, I'm not creative or artsy at all, right? And it's like, okay, so what do you prefer to do? What do you like? And they can't, they're like, I haven't done anything in a long time. Okay, have you done wood shop? Have you wanted to make anything out of leather? Have you wanted to crochet, knit, anything of these craft instead of what a lot of people unfortunately think that like knitting and crochet and hand stitching and sewing and such are not arts. Some people will consider them arts who know what goes into them, right? And others of us, we consider it arts because, god damn, it is work. It takes you time and expertise to learn about it. Not always. You can just start and have some fun. I think of it like that. Altering your clothes, you know, sewing a button, sewing a hole up. Though a lot of people are like, sewing is dreadful. I like creating, but I don't like sewing the holes on my socks. And you're like, okay, what makes it? Cooking. Okay, that could be creative, right? Whatever things that kind of get your brain using. If you're somebody who's like, I don't do any of that, okay? As someone with an engineering degree, like I get it. A lot of firefighters are like, I don't have anything creative that I do. And I'm like, okay, man, tell me, that thing you were doing with knots, right? And practicing and such, that's stimulating your brain. Does that make you feel better after doing it? You know? If you're search and rescue, which is one of the requirements of firefighting, that's kind of what I'm talking about. People get real inventive with learning the knots, and because they have to be like memory. You can't pull out a book when you're about to go into a fire or when you're about to go down the side of the building or hoisting something, right? You have to know those things. And all everyone like, I'm not this. I'm like, okay. So what do you do in your fun? Oh, you work on mechanics? Cool. That's not, he's like, oh, that's like engineering. Yes, it's working and figuring things out and solutions and problems. And for some people, that's exactly what they need. For others who love mathematics, right? If you're 4% of the population, being on the entire planet, understands math to a really nth degree, to a exponential degree, right? A lot of people are like, I don't understand math like that. Like I can barely get through, and like math of just how much is my groceries and how much is this, like, and whatnot. So people are so math oriented that they're like, I have nothing that I can do. But you could probably learn a language. For people who do language and the arts and the liberal arts and whatnot, people are like, oh, language isn't like fun. It's like having to just master it. Well, you can conversate, you can listen to music, you can watch videos, you can do telenovelas in Spanish, right? Or what do they call them in English? I never remember what they're called. Novelas, novels, book series, stuff, read. There's so many things that you can do to just create or to give your mind something else to do that can work for you, right? A lot of people don't put two and two together, that mathy people can actually learn like really good at language, okay? And I have a theory for it, but it's just, some people are like, oh, I have nothing fun. And it's like, okay, well then learn a new math language. Y'all who like to computer science, right? People who like to work on computer engineering, it's like my sibling, right? I'm like, oh, you should learn let's go learn Linux, right? And he's like, I hate you. Why are you like this? Why are you putting more work on me? And I'm like, because we want to stimulate our brains. We want to do this. I'm like, I will learn it right along with you. And he's like, Stephanie, I work with Java. I'm like, okay, well then learn C++. Pick something else in the field that kind of stimulates the brain. And one thing that a lot of people don't realize is stimulating the brain in these ways of creativity and stuff. They have been shown that it pushes away or lowers the chances of getting dementia. That's why you used to have a lot of elders that you have in this day and age, that those that kept on woodworking, those that kept on doing knitting and crocheting and sewing, right? Or cross stitch. These people that have amazing like gifts to be able to knit and make lace and to do these things. You see them into elders and they're still pretty, what we call cuerda in Espanol, which is like everything's there in the brain, like it's pretty on point, right? Anyways, sorry. I get over here because that's something that maybe you needed to hear. Finding things that bring you joy, that whether it's gardening, farming, outside, designing, I don't know. Figure out what it is that you enjoy, or what you used to, or what you've always wanted to try. Even if it's sports, and if it's like archery, and people before you decide to say, that's expensive. Look, a lot of things you already probably had. I'm mentioning the things that people have always kind of wanted to do, or already have, or they've forgotten about, things that they've started, things that they are, beading, threading, all this stuff, right? That seems to be a thing that I hear a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm going to be really good at designing t-shirts, right? I'm going to do business on it. And then I hear a lot of people having to sell their materials, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I hope that your next endeavor is all you wish for, all you want for, and attracts whatever brain you got, neurospicy and all. Especially because your brain's working overtime. Okay, I have a 9 here and a 9 here. 9 here and a 9 here. This is the 9 of Swords, and this is the 9 of Wands. I love the 9 of Wands in this sense. It's so pretty. Those fishies, I don't know what that is. Little buggies, something or another. And the hawk and I believe that's a hawk. The hawk and the foxling, right, or the cub, are on top looking, one's looking in the other direction, kind of looking here, and the other is, the fox is looking into the sea or into the lake for, I guess, fishies or ponds or tadpoles, something, seeing if it's edible. And it's very interesting. But the 9 of Wands is where we feel like we have taken on everyone's shit and not our own. And it doesn't look like it's looking to eat because its little ears are down and back, which, like cats, means that it's spooked or scared or like feeling threatened, right? And the hawk being like it's looking to the side like, but it's not facing it, means that it's not going to go towards it. When you have the 9 of Wands traditionally, it means, and it talks about really and truly, that you have taken on too much bullshit that's not yours. You've taken on everybody else's problems, been the therapist for your friends, whatever it is. You've taken on too much at work that was not your problem or your job. Like I've seen it where some people will tell me, hey, I'm like now have basically the position of 3 people that I'm filling because my job has not wanted to hire more. And you're just like, good grief, that's a lot. That's like, you can only be yourself, right? If you're doing 3 times the work and they're not gonna pay you 3 times the work, then you're overworked, right? And then some people are like, no, but they're giving me both this job and the job that I'm supposed to be doing, right? I'm getting 2 people's work, but I'm also getting like good enough pay, but it's too much, right? Feeling like you're gonna break, feeling like that you're threatened in the situation, right? When I was talking about the Hierophant here, right? The Hierophant is the 5. There's a story always between the Hierophant and the Hermit. Both are solitary, but the Hierophant is because he already knows his shit and he's exhausted and he's like, okay, I'm gonna go live my life. When it comes around and somebody needs me, I'm over here, I'm gonna be doing my thing. I'm not interested. Right? Versus the Hermit is where we have to go on periods of solitude to find ourselves, to see if we are ready to be happy with ourselves, by ourselves, and away from the world. A lot of people don't realize that you have to be happy with yourself in the darkness, right? In your darkest of night, in your best of day, or the happiest day, right? A lot of people don't realize that you have to be in these times, these situations, these things, right? Because if not, you can have so much more if you just give yourself that, right? To have the partner that you've always desired, you need to be happy on your own, right? You've heard that. So it's like that. The Hierophant here is, he's doing his own thing. He's, I guess, gardening. Like, it's giving, he found himself his favorite, I'm thinking it's a turnip, favorite food, and he's grown it, and now he's maybe not pulling it out the ground, but he's taking care of it, and this is his prize. This is his fruits of the labor in himself. The way that he looks back is very interesting in this deck, because I have it next to the Three of Cups, right? When I think of the Hierophant, I think of you're doing your thing and you're finding, for him, it's the fruits of your labor. Usually the Hierophant is like doing its thing, continuing its such, it's the lone wolf. But you need to understand, lonely and alone are not the same thing, okay? That's what it's giving with the Nine of Swords here, right? Nine of Swords is when we're in our head, right? The way that this one is up in his head. I don't know if that's a centipede or a worm, such. But it feels like it's just roaming and roaming and roaming and roaming and roaming and not leaving it alone. You need to understand that being alone is not lonely. Enjoy the time with yourself. What would your childlike self be happy of, right? Especially because I have the Three of Cups here in the middle. The Three of Cups is having a relationship and being happy in the community. The Three of Cups is usually where you see three people celebrating cups of wine and they're just dancing around the fire. Usually it's three women, sometimes it's three men depending on the deck, and such. But when you see that deck, it's like they're enjoying their time, they're having fun, they're doing their things, they're having like girl time to like tell you what's up. But it's not necessarily about like a romantic relationship. The way that she is here, it's beautiful. It's like this, I believe this one is based on a butterfly, fae. The wings give off very butterfly. And then it's a kala lily. Kala lilies are beautiful. They are very serene. A lot of people use them for funerals. And then others, my mother used them for her wedding. For peace. She's like, I'm hoping for a peaceful relationship. Well, it worked enough. Yeah, all that. But anyways, back to the second hand. With this, you need to understand that being alone is not lonely. You need to understand that for yourself, and you need to believe it and understand. You're like, oh, I'm alone? Shit, I can go take a nap all day if I wanted to. Heck yes. Oh shit, I can actually clean my house, put on my music, drink some wine, drink whatever the heck you've been looking for, and just having a blast on yourself, by yourself. It's not a bad thing, okay? Doesn't mean you always have to be alone, but when you are, the times you are, it's for your benefit. It's for your choice, it's for yourself, it's for your betterment, and to have a happy relationship, because the longest standing relationship you will ever have in your life is with yourself. Your body, mind, soul, and physical self, right? I always say physical and body as differently because I think of like the spiritual body. So there's that. And mental spelling in the mental space, because let me tell you, when mind body disconnect, it is not pretty. Not always, but that's when people are crying a lot. It's when people have this dis-ease about themselves. When people are like, oh, disease? No, dis-ease, right? They're not happy in their body. They're not having the times that they would like. So, for this reading, for all of what I just said, I hope you find things back in yourselves in all this. Find things that just reconnect. Even if you feel like you are freaking going up the tallest mountain vertically, okay, with no rope, and just sometimes and feeling like you got 2 spikes and you are literally climbing up this mountain vertically, and that's it. That's all you got. You're just like, good God, this is hard. God, my life feels like it is at the detriment of everything. I need you to understand that this is when you need to self-care. This is when you need to take time for yourself. And then when you're like, okay, well, maybe I don't have money to go get my nails done, or I don't have money to go get a face mask. Okay, but you can treat yourself to washing your face a little bit longer, taking a little bit of a longer shower, washing your hair with something special, putting some oil on your body, right? Things that you already have, or maybe that scrub you haven't finished and you're like, man, I should just finish it, right? Taking care of yourself, your mental, your physical, and emotional bodies means that the relationship is intact, okay? Now, the reason I say this is because we have right here, it's the Caballero de Pentáculos, or the, what's it called? Knight of Pentacles. I find it very interesting. He's writing, I think it's a roly-poly. I don't know what those are called. I'm Texan, right? I'm from here, from the US. Mi mamá es colombiana, and my dad is Italiano, right? Italiano Siciliano specifically. But I've always heard him called roly-polies in my family. Roly-poly. He's like, I am writing and I am continuing towards my destiny, towards myself, towards what I wish. Slowly and steadily with stability. Okay? So go towards what makes you happy, so that way you can get back on track to the things you've always wanted. Whether that's a pretty garden, whether you want to do woodworking, whether you want to do mechanics and math and science and the STEM fields and those intricacies, or if you're over here and you're getting back into language, or you're getting back into journaling, or you're over here creating through art, through music and media, whatever it is that you do that sparks that joy, or that brings you back at least to center equilibrium, that's what you need to do. Okay? Anyways, y'all, remember, what connects ourselves and what lets us flourish, right? Finding those things that you used to do, or that you've always wanted to do, or you should try, or you should this, or you should that. You don't have to take on everybody's bullshit. That's not your problem, okay? Focus on yourself and stop killing yourself for others to live. Stop lighting yourself on fire to warm other people. Okay? I need y'all to take the new steps you've always wanted. Take those steps towards the things, whether it be your work, whether it be the things that you enjoy. Do them. Not without a backup plan, but do them, okay? Little steps, right? Find what you could do when you're alone that betters your connection to yourself, right? That's what that is. And the things that you already know that you're doing, it's okay. All right? You can continue doing them. It's okay. And alone is not lonely, okay? They are not the same. Being lonely is the missing of something, or absentee, or such, or feeling that. Versus alone is just being by yourself, right? I know a lot of people are like, Carla, what the are you talking about? The relationship with yourself and your community can still be, but when you're by yourself in your house, or in your apartment, or in your studio, or whatever, and you're like, what do I like? Look in the mirror, repeat those mantras that you heard people talk about, that I am me. That I am me is strong enough to where you're like, okay, I am myself, and I plan to be no one else. Just having that promise and trying to say it every day, and it becoming more real, is enough to kind of help a lot of things, right? Don't allow yourself to be up in your head all the time. Okay? If you're stuck up here in your brain, then you can't be physically in your body to enjoy life as it passes and to do the things that make you happy. Okay? Yes, you feel like you're going super slow, but taking those steps slowly doesn't just bring you the happiness that you want. It brings you towards the goals you've always wanted, that you maybe were too scared to say it out loud. Maybe all you could do is journal it and never say it out loud. Maybe all you can do is speak it and you never brought yourself to writing it down because it felt too permanent. Or maybe it was a voice note to yourself and you're like, no, I can't listen to that. Like, that's not real. Voice note yourself and make it a mantra. Shit, do that. And for people who are like, oh, that's just a lot. Well, you're worth it. Okay? You're worth it. Alright, y'all. Did I get to everything? Slow and steady wins the race here. And on this one, it's all roly-poly. And he's got a flag. He's got his winning flag to get across the finish line. Right? Straight up. So keep going. Reconnect to yourself and the stress and the everything that feels like it can't get out of your body. Put that energy into something that you enjoy or that can help you. Even if it's therapy, man, like, shit. If that's what you need, if you have that access, use it. Okay? Anyways, I hope this helps out. I hope that in this dark time of the year, right? Here in the US it is. November is considered one of the darkers. We got a really, really strong cold front here in Texas, which was crazy as hell to say aloud. But we got like almost a week. It's like 4 days or something. And it was cold. We're talking it was 60s at night. It was 40s, 50s at night, 60 maybe something at night. And it was like 64 all in the morning. And we were like, oh, and this was some strong winds. And we were like, oh shit. Let me tell you, I felt like I was useless. I felt like, damn, I didn't start a garden this year. Or dang, the little things that I grew didn't continue to grow. Now with the cold, they ain't gonna grow. And so I'm like, all right, what plants do I save? What things do I do? Should I just continue knitting? Is it too late to start knitting? Did I not make the things I wanted to? Did I finish that blanket? No, I did not. It's okay. It's okay to have things that we have not finished or done, because we can start them now. We can do them soon. We can do them in a little bit, in a moment. You might need to rest, and that's okay. Get some strength, get some energy, and do the things. Give up the things that ain't for you. Okay? I don't see addictions necessarily, but I see you overthinking all the time, which could be a form of addiction itself, or something that connects you that, hey, you're missing a couple vitamins. Hey, you need someone to talk to outside of your family circle or your loop. Like I said, you might need therapy. You might just need a journal that can hold all your thoughts and just throw it over there. This journal is gonna be for all the ugly. Okay? So I hope that this helps out. If you need something from me, saormottoarts.com is my website. It is under, what's the nice way to say it? Repair. And fixing the mess. But you'll still know where to find me. You have me through YouTube. You have me on Instagram. I have not used it as much because of all the things that are going on. But I'm still there through YouTube. And I have WhatsApp in case that you have my number because you've bought readings before from me. You can go through PayPal or through Venmo. Venmo is through the US and PayPal is through Nation. Wow, stuff. Worldwide, because it lets me translate the money to my currency. So yeah, you just gotta find a time and be like, oh, I want this. Okay, cool. Anyways, y'all, I'm grateful for y'all being with me for this long. And yeah, I hope this helps out. And I hope it wasn't too boring. And if it is that boring, I hope you're listening at full speed. Twice speed is okay. I'm totally fine with it. If you got the message and it helped you, so. Or if I was going to be around while you did your dishes or cleaning the toilet. Have a great one. And I hope to see y'all enjoying and being yourselves like the Queen of Wands.